last 3 practices before we got inside of the stadium for today's scrimmage. We've operated with crowd noise and some of those mechanics as well, so there was more on their plate. They've handled it well, been good decision makers, and have continued to grow, both in understanding of what we're doing, defensive structure, and then fundamentally and consistently being accurate with the football. Today, they handled that pretty well throughout the course of it.
Awesome.
Having missed the spring, are you surprised at how Deshaun Brame has performed through fall camp to be as active as he's been, to be making plays in scrimmages and 11-on-11 work during regular practice that like he's done to this point?
Yeah, it's tough for every player when you're out, challenging yourself and mentally being engaged just like you're taking every live rep. And I thought he got better, throughout the course of the spring in that, not getting work, but handling yourself like a pro, and his growth during the summer. The game has slowed down for him just in the course of training camp, how we've operated, his ability to see signals, get lined up, handle tempo, handle everything that we're doing, and he's made some plays, been really good out in space, and should be a big part of what we do this fall.
How would you evaluate Joey Aguilar's command of the offense if you could just give it the eyeball test?
I thought he handled himself extremely well. That's today. I think he's got better from day one up until today's scrimmage, really, every single day. The comfort and the control. He's handled himself extremely well during our night walkthroughs, which is, mental focus, mental sweat, and because of that, he's, extremely comfortable in what we're doing right now.
Wes?
Josh, when you sort of look back through your career as a coach, your quarterbacks have never really thrown a lot of interceptions typically, and Joey's a guy who on film, at least at the places he's been before, has been very aggressive, and he takes some risky throws. How has that been sort of managing that sort of mentality that he's got with what y'all do?
You're going to have to make tight throws. To me, interceptions happen when you don't understand defensive structure, your eyes aren't in the right spot. Fundamentally, your body's not in the right position, and you're not accurate with the football. So it's all of those pieces of the puzzle that come together for a quarterback to operate efficiently, take care of the football while still playing on the right side of the fence of being aggressive and allowing yourself to make plays down the football field.
Adam.
Josh, is this where we're at now? Is this sort of the end of camp and transition into game prep, or does that come a little later?
No, that'll transition later for us. Still, have camp days.
What do you want to see out of whoever your starting quarterback is? What do you want to see out of the next 2 weeks to convince you or to make you comfortable with them going into the first game? Yeah,
again, at the end of the day, that guy's got to be able to manage the football. That's your sideline communication, it's play clock situations, game clock situations. We do a lot of work on that, controlling and your offense. It's the run game, it's the pass game, it's RPO, it's protections. You want to see those guys master it and take you out of negative plays and also put yourself in a position to create big plays.
What do you think has changed the most for this team since day one of fall camp?
I think just growth and understanding of scheme. There's been growth in the fundamentals as well, but understanding the scheme.
Josh, how do you feel like your team has tackled these first 2 scrimmages, and have you all been pretty clean in terms of penalties?
I think we've gotten better throughout the course of training camp as far as penalties in all 3 phases. End of the day, I think playing smart football is really important, not having self-inflicted wounds. Tackling, I think our guys have done a good job. Today's scrimmage was stud for the first defense. We've had live periods, live scrimmage. We've done a lot of one-on-one tackling where you limit exposure exposure of some of what's going on as well. So fundamentally, they've gotten themselves in really good positions. That's been a point of emphasis, even when you're not in a live tackle. Body position is key to going and finishing the play the way that you need to.
I know you're not naming starters, but how comfortable do you feel with kind of who you believe is going to be able to help you now, and maybe guys who look at as still a ways away, and how much does this scrimmage kind of dictate that moving into the last 2 weeks?
When you start talking about quarterback,
I'm talking about in general, and when you start talking about reps and how you manage everything, how much does this scrimmage dictate sort of who's there and who's a ways away?
Well, the scrimmage gives you an indicator of where they're at today. We're still, 2 weeks away from kickoff. There can and needs to be a lot of growth from our entire team, not just young guys, here over the next 2 weeks. At the end of the day, players got to earn it, and you do that in how you operate and everything that we're doing. Walkthroughs, communication, all of it. And today's a great barometer of where we're at, but also showcases where we got to get to, and you got to allow young guys to continue to grow, and that's really your entire football team too.
Patrick and Mike.
Josh, what did you see out of your passing game today and the receivers? Who were some guys that stepped up and made some plays for you?
Yeah, thought we had a good day today. Held Chris. He's been practicing here the last couple of days, but he's done a good job in coming back. Mike made some big plays down the football field. Tight ends were a part of it as well. I thought early in the scrimmage in particular operated well offensively and moved the football.
Josh, what was your reaction to the coming switch to Adidas, and does that have potential to have a really big impact in recruiting down the road?
Yeah, we're fortunate. Had a partner that wanted to make us their flagship school, and that's going to happen in a lot of different ways, and going to be a benefit to our football program, but this athletic department as a whole too. And they had an opportunity to come talk to some of our guys, and I think everybody's really excited. That again we're going to be the flagship school for them, and it's going to provide a lot of unique opportunities for our players on and off the field.
Ryan.
Did Boo get a little more involved on defense today, and where is he kind of in the process of working his way back?
Yeah, Boo was out there with us today and got work. End of the day, it's day to day, and he's done some things in a good way here.
Austin.
Can you talk about your offensive line and maybe where you feel like they are, maybe compared to where the offensive line was a year ago? I know different guys, but just kind of like physically, do you feel like this group's further along? Like where's Lance at compared to last year, so on and so forth?
Yeah, Lance, I said it earlier in training camp. In a much better spot. What he's done with his body during the off season, but then the opportunity to practice and prepare and get better every single day too. And I think that's going to afford him the opportunity to play his best football, and collectively as a group, I like the way that they've competed throughout the course of training camp. I think they've done a really nice job, communication and fundamentals on the pass pro side of it, and have been really good in the run game too. But it's a young group. Ultimately, 2 weeks from now we got kickoff, and she's for real. But believe in these guys that as a group, collectively, they're going to go play at a really high level.
The back of Paige and John.
Earlier in fall camp, Joey Hosley talked about how in the quarterback competition, you want somebody to go out there to be able to take it. And I'm not asking you to name any names, but are you seeing separation in the competition as you get closer to day one?
I like what all those guys have done. First, they've competed in a positive way with each other in the meeting room. That's certainly been the case out on the practice field. I think this football team believes in that group of guys too. Who they are, how they lead, and how they compete every single day.
Josh, where is Jermod McCoy, his availability, what he's been able to do with you guys? Was he out there with you today?
He was not a part of the scrimmage, no. He's continuing his rehab, and I think you guys saw him out on the practice field with us a few days ago, and he's continuing on that journey.
Last two, Brandon.
How comfortable do you feel at running back? How competitive is that? And is that as deep as you've potentially been there in a while?
Probably as deep as we've been. Guys that have been here, been a part of it, have played extremely well. I think, Star is a completely different player than he was in the spring, what he's done with his body, his movement, fundamentals as well. And the two young guys continue to get better every single day. Did some really nice things in the scrimmage today. Some of our group work, working fundamentals, playing without the football. These guys have been continuing to grow too, which is a big part of playing that position.
Josh, in your experience recruiting, have you come across a recruit where the apparel brand was the determining factor in their decision?
Man, not of recent memory. I think as recruits look at who we have partnered with and the opportunities it's going to provide our players on and off the field. I think it's going to be a strong showing and something that will be really inviting to them. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Josh.